Today we're looking at custom Magic the Gathering cards on Reddit, and we're going to rate them. We're going to start with the Fibonacci Saga. Oh, them Fibonacci numbers. Any math majors in the house? The never-ending story as this saga enters after your draw step, add a lore counter. This saga has no final chapter. Oh, God. We got them Microsoft Word little paperclip here. All right, so chapters 1 and 2 add a colorless mana. Chapter 3, this saga's preceding 2 chapter abilities both trigger. So, honestly, I don't remember how the Fibonacci numbers work. I just have some image of a bunch of spirals everywhere. Am I on the right case? This card looks very bizarre and weird and completely unnecessary. Maybe it's good on flavor, but pretty useless as a card. So, I'm gonna give it the thumbs down. It doesn't make any sense. We're just gonna we'll keep looping back to chapters 1 and 2. All right, Bear Witness. Another flavor card. Okay, green, 1 generic for a 2/2 bear. When Bear Witness enters the battlefield, investigate. Create a colorless clue artifact token with 2. Sack this artifact, draw a card. I think I saw someone, but my memory is slippery. Like a salmon, maybe 2 mana can improve my grip on things. Oh my goodness. I don't know what this is in reference to. What a flavor win? Bear Witness. Witness a bear? Bear Witness? I don't know. All right, well, you know what? It's not broken, and it seems like a fair card. And frankly, I think bears maybe need to do some more. Maybe it needs to create clues and tokens and maybe treasures or something. We got to give a little boost to the 2 mana 2/2. Frankly, we got 2/2s for 1 mana these days. All right, we got Valerio, the first in the house, to give us the custom card donation. So, Michiru Kagemori, fix the mechanic and weaker. So the deal is, if you donate to the show live, give me the title at Custom Magic on Reddit, your title there, and we'll look it up and review it. Michiru Kage, hopefully that's good enough. No, I missed the M, I guess. Cannot find it. Michiru Kagemori. Can't find it. Sorry, Valerie. You gotta give me the right name. Sorry about that. All right, next, Jinxed Combustion. Red, 1 generic, instant. Jinxed Combustion deals 2 damage to any target. I don't know. I've seen that a million times. Jinx. If you cast this from your hand, exile it as it resolves, jinxing a player. Whenever you target that player, you may cast this card from exile. The hell? If you cast this from your hand, exile it as it resolves, jinxing the player. Whenever you target that player, you may cast this card from exile. So what, like you can cast it again versus them? I don't really get it. I don't even know how this card works. Whenever you target that player, you may cast this card from exile. So you just basically get to cast it twice, if I understand this. So you target them, and then, oh, I see. So if you target a player, you can cast it twice. If you target a creature, you cast it only once. Interesting. So you could, in theory, have like 4 mana deal 4 damage to a player, or it's 2 mana deal damage to a creature. This is pretty cool. I think this is pretty cool. Not bad at all. I don't know. Is it like... I'm not interpreting it like that. Yeah, I keep casting it from a new zone. Oh, wait a minute. Do you have, like, infinite 2 damage? So it's like 2 damage, goes back to exile, 2 damage, goes back to exile. Yeah, you get keep casting it for forever. I don't know now. Now I thought it wasn't. I didn't think it was broken, but now I'm thinking that maybe this is broken. This is infinite 2 damage in the late game. I mean, this is absolutely insane. All right, you know what? Changed my mind. It's got to be something like if you cast it from exile, put it into your graveyard, something to that effect. You can't like do this perpetually for forever. That's just a little bit too much. I did it. They removed it from Reddit for some reason. Put it back up. All right, let's get back. You probably didn't follow their art rules. Careful. Gotta follow them art rules. I still don't see it. Mori. It's still not there. Michiru Sorry, I can't. I can't find it. This card is cursed. Maybe they banned you. Maybe they shadow banned you by accident. All right, Gundam Blade Knight. Thanks so much for the soup set. Preview of a set I have been working on. You didn't give me the name. What's the name of this stuff, you people? All right, well, I'll look for the name, or is it called that? Okay, preview of a set I have been working on. Maybe that's the name of your title. There it is. All right, it did work. Looking up these cards, it worked. Okay, we got the MA01 Rainbow Colored Lotus 0 mana artifact level up 2. Ooh, this is, you know what? I think you're the first person to play around with level up on the show. Now, not so many people are so bold. 2 mana, put a level counter on this. Level up only as a sorcery. It's got 1 level. What the hell? Okay, so it's a 0 mana Lotus. If you pay 2, we got tap, sack, Rainbow Colored Lotus at X mana of any one color, where X is the number of level counters on, on Rainbow Colored Lotus. So it's like charging it up, right? You charge it up. This is really fair, to be honest. This is ridiculously fair. I'm pretty sure this is fair. I mean, in some world, maybe people can abuse this as just a 0 mana card. And I don't know if you have a bunch of I really don't see how this can be broken, so I like it. Totally fair. No problem with this whatsoever. Whoops, this is supposed to be the preview card. Okay, hold on. Going back. Moving behind. This is my standard side. Okay, where are we at? We were at, hold on. Okay, I'll do one of the free ones and I'll get to you, Gayer. Idiotic Tutor. Black instant. Search your library for a card. Put it on top, then shuffle. You lose 2 life. That makes absolutely no sense. Hold on, do we have a sound effect for stupidity? I don't know. This is like the closest thing that I have. It does nothing. Search your library for a card. Put it on top. Then you have to shuffle. So you just shuffled away the card that you looked for. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing. It is the Idiotic Tutor, not to be confused with Idyllic Tutor. That's already art somewhere. Well, that's okay. You can pull the art from anywhere. There's no rules around the art on this thing. So for that matter, I'm gonna disqualify this one because it's just a stupid card and does absolutely nothing. All right, next we've got Geyer with the super chat. Thanks so much. No customs of my own, but keep up the good work. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a flavor win. Yes, it is. It absolutely is a flavor win. Okay, since I paid, but you cannot see Michiru, try this one. Mana Materialization. All right, let's look at Mana Materialization. No, whenever your turn begins. All right, I'll try that. New Mana Tech. The newest of Mana Tech. Mana Materialization. Green, green, 2 generic enchantment. Pay 1. Create a 1/1 mana spirit creature token. Its color is the 1 of the mana spent to activate this ability. Okay. So if you pay green, it's a green creature. It has haste and tap. Exile this creature. Add 1 mana of its color. It cannot be spent to activate the ability of Mana Materialization. Okay, fair. This ability's cost cannot be increased or reduced. That sounds like something out of like 1993 and 1994. Whenever your turn begins, exile all mana spirits creature whenever your turn begins, exile all mana spirit creature tokens under your control. I don't get it. Well, I guess I sort of get it. So you can convert your mana into creatures that can block, and then you can sack them for mana. All right. I think this is a cool card. I don't know. Is this broken in some way? It's probably a combo card somewhere. Wow, words. Lots of words. Yeah, we probably didn't need the ability's cost cannot be increased or reduced. That makes absolutely no... That doesn't even make any sense to me, frankly. Combo piece with cards that give mana for sacrifice. Do not have haste? I swear that it has haste. It has haste and tap. Exile this creature. So it does have haste. Alright, what do we got next? We've got Gabrielle with the super chat. Happy to catch the very start for once. Something in theme for Valentine's Day. The card's name is Karen Hortensia Armor. Karen. Hortensia Amor. Something. Something. Something else than Rage for Red to exploit. Alright, we got a white, red, 2 generic, 1/5, God Cleric. Looks like an angel. Hubba hubba. Alright, Flying Defender, tap, Love Bond. Target creature you control with target creature you control with target creature you don't control. Oh, hold on. Love Bond is like an ability. Okay, pair this creature with another unpaired creature. They remain paired as long as both of them are on the battlefield. And creatures have protection from the creature they are paired with. Creatures have protection from the creatures they are paired with. Is that going to keep the bond strong? Or are they going to bounce off of each other? And whenever a paired creature leaves the battlefield, exile the creature it was paired with. Oh, that's very sad. So you kill one, kill both. Very heartbreaking. All right. I'm going to approve of it. Fake card. They're all fake card Cosmic Seeds. Like, none of these are real. It's all about custom Magic the Gathering cards. All right. Back to the main page. Trapped in a Hot Pockets box. Yeah, there's like these weird MTG Arena Magic 30 Hot Pockets. I don't know what... Like, this is the weirdest branding of all time. Whatever. If you're hungry, get your Hot Pockets while playing at F&M. White 3 generic for a Aura Enchantment. And enchant non-land permanent. Enchanted permanent is a food artifact with pay 2, tap, sack this artifact. You gain 3 life and it loses all other abilities. Oh, that's interesting. So it's like permanent removal. Oh, I like this. We need more cards like this. All right, enchant your planeswalker, your creature, your artifact, and now it's a food token. Eat it. Oh yeah, it becomes a Hot Pocket. That's hot. I like that one. That's great. Gilded Goose flavored Hot Pocket. There's Magic themed hot. Yes! It's very bizarre. This is the weirdest branding that they've I'd say this is the weirdest collaboration you could possibly imagine, seeing planeswalkers on your Hot Pockets. They're completely unrelated. What makes this so magical? What does this have to do with Gideon or Jace or anything? Gideon, catch those Gilded Goose to make that Hot Pocket. Yeah, that's right. Someone's got to do the dirty work, and I guess it's Gideon. All right, who's next? We got Approaching Calamity. Thanks so much. Blood Moon isn't good enough. Wait, in reference to... Sorry, Trapped in Hot Pockets box? I don't know. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's your card. Blood Moon isn't good enough. I thought that was like a comment. Wait, is it like isn't good enough or isn't fun enough? I see one for isn't fun enough. And it's a giant ad. All right, Hunter's Moon. I think this is what you're advertising here, Approaching Calamity. All right, so red 2 generic for Hunter's Moon. It's an enchantment. All non-basic lands have creatures you control attack each combat if able. Creatures you control attack each combat at all non-basic lands have. This looks like an AI generated card. All non-basic lands have creatures you control attack each. Oh, I see. So if you have one non-basic land, then that means you have to attack with your creatures. Really bizarre card. I guess it's fair though. Like, it's nothing wrong with it. I don't think it's broken. Yeah, so every non-basic land. All non-basics, why? It's Hunter's Moon. You're gonna get hunted. All right, so we're gonna look at way more of these custom Magic the Gathering cards. So don't change that dial. Don't be looking at other YouTube channels while this one's still running. We gotta thank our sponsors though, FusionGamingOnline.com. Phyrexia will be one is up. Go get your Phyrexia cards. I know I've got mine. I got all my cards for Pioneer. Deal of the week this week, 15% off all Secret Lair singles and box sets. So if you love them, weird, bizarre. Well, we got Street Fighter over here. Got that heavy death metal framed card, fetch lands. We got Teferi Hero of Dominaria. 15% off this week at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget to stack them discounts, though, with coupon code Nikachu to get an additional 5% off all your purchases. And it supports the channel, so it lets them know that I sent you there. And we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. If you got to be prepared for the Magic cons, because you never know what the format is going to be, you can play any format and play test it when you're renting the cards with Mana Traders on Magic Online. And you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_3RS. And back to the custom cards. The beautiful custom cards. Where'd I go? There we... no, wrong one. There we go. Snap back to reality. Clarinet Guy, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Nikachu, love the content. How about barbed wire fence? How about it? The barbed wire fence from Clarinet Guy. Barbed wire fence. We got 3-mana artifact. Whenever one or more creatures without flying attack, barbed wire fence deals 3 damage to each of those creatures. Oh my goodness. So it's like ensnaring bridge, but actually more fair in some sense. This actually is I think it's very oppressive. This would shut down so many like small dinky creature decks, but would it? It's also an artifact, so anyone can deal with it. I like the flavor. It's really, really, really good. It might be broken. You know what's more broken though? Ensnaring bridge, and I'm not allowed to attack, period. At least I have the option to attack into this thing. It's just going to deal 3 damage. I gotta make my creatures big, beefy, and strong. Yeah, don't attack me with your elves or tokens, although those elves can get pumped up really big. This is very unique design. I guess they don't have barbed wire in the multiverse. There's no need for it. Like, what would barbed wire really do? You're gonna stop my magic? Oh, this barbed wire is so... How are we going to get through here? We'll just fire blast the damn thing. Anyway, I actually think it's a really good idea for a card. It should deal damage after combat? No, that doesn't make sense. That's like you come and hit me first, and then you get hit by the barbed wire. No, you got to get through the barbed wire first before you get me. You got to get through the barbed wire. That's the defense here. So I actually think that makes a lot of sense. Very neat card. We got Memento Mihi. Try to make land hate that doesn't destroy land. I mean, like Blood Moon? There are 5 cards, but you only need to look at the first one. They're all pretty much the same. All right, so tried to make land hate that doesn't destroy land. Let's take a look at it. Deforestation. For 5 mana, legendary artifact. Forests do not untap during the untap step. During each player's upkeep, he or she may choose to skip their draw step and untap all forests they control. Wow, land hate. So I guess there you have 1 for every color. The dry the river. Yeah, island. So it's the old-fashioned hate on 1 color, right? Old-fashioned. Okay, so this is the only time I'll look at all like 5 of them, because we got sudden drought. We got Total Mountain Mine, because it's all the same. Swamp Drain. Interesting mechanic, to be honest. So you can get your mana back if you choose not to draw a card that turn. I think it's very unique. And it's expensive. It's like super expensive at 5 mana. And not necessarily impressive at all. Someone's a hater. Yeah, come at me, bro. King Ginger would run it with Ishin. Price of Progress exists. That's oppressive, though. 2 mana. Deal, what, 2 damage per non-basic land? That's broken. If it made its way to Modern, that is. Approaching Calamity is back. Gasp. I don't know how to read it. Try again. Blood Moon isn't good enough. No, you did it. We did see it. Okay. So I didn't see your actual card. Blood Moon isn't good enough. It's not here. Where did you put it? Blood Moon, but different. It's not. It just doesn't exist. This isn't the exact title, or at least not in Custom Magic. It needs to be in can't be just on Reddit. It's got to be on Custom Magic. Anyway, you let me know if you can figure it out. No, you posted the wrong Reddit. We gotta post it in the right Reddit. I don't see it here. Maybe it doesn't show up immediately. Just like, I guess you have to give it like some time. All right, try to remind me later and we'll see if it turns up in the search results. All right, I'm gonna go back to the main page now. Okay, trapped in Hot Pockets, we looked at you. Thought Slash, a black-blue instant counter target spell unless its controller discards 2 cards. Seems fair. It's a counter spell. And actually it's not even that good of a counter spell because the opponent, depending on how important it is for that spell to resolve, they can just discard 2 cards and it's completely, you know, completely negates your counter spell. This is a very fair card. I actually think it might be downright bad. I don't like cards strategically. It's not good to play cards where you give your opponent the option to let something resolve or not. Like the cost is high, but if let's say it's a game-winning card, I'll be like, okay, I'll discard the 2 cards. Okay, you lose. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out to my TED Talk. If you search up Blood Moon, it's a few options down. All right, I'll look up Blood Moon. I've never had so much trouble looking up your super chats, people. Remember the rules. Look, post on custom magic. Blood Moon isn't good enough. All right, we found it. Where did you post this thing? I guess maybe I should put a link in the description or something. Why are we not seeing this so well? Hui! Dust Moon! Oh my goodness. Okay, colorless, colorless, colorless. Enchantment. Non-basic lands are wastes. Oh. So basically we've got Blood Moon, but instead of turning all non-basic lands into mountains, all non-basic lands turn into wastes instead. So it gets actually worse. But you also have to cast it with, like, colorless mana. I like it. I actually like it a lot. I think this... I think it's a very fair card. I actually think this card is super fair. Leyline of Indifference has entered the chat. Yes, of course. Alright, moving on. We've got 2 Shocks in a Trench Coat. Very cute picture. So it's 2 red mana. 2 Shocks in a Trench Coat deals 4 damage to any target. I'm surprised they don't have, like, many 2 mana deal 4 damage to anything. I would imagine, like, the power level of Magic should be increasing at this point, where 2 mana deal 4 damage is pretty normal. Burning Paper Sun. I want to be that card. Yeah, who doesn't want to be that card? 2 Shocks in a Trench Coat. So 1 Shock's at top, 1 Shock's on the bottom. The beauty of it is they never see it coming, ever. Razak Spark Mage to his brother. Did I miss Valerio's super chat? No, we're getting there. We're getting there. Don't worry. One thing at a time. Don't worry. I got my... Maybe I didn't have my eye on all the super chats. This card is probably broken. But that being said, I sort of like it. Maybe it's too... it could be too busted. I'm going to let you all know in the comment section about what you guys think about this card. Probably for Commander, no one would care. It's like a completely meaningless card. In one-on-one Magic, particularly 60-card formats, it could be broken. But I would bet that we are at the point where 2 mana 4 damage would be fair. Wouldn't be happy about it, but it's fair. It's a better, it's a better Boros Charm. Although it has to be double red, which is not really a big deal for the red decks. 2 in the Shock, 1 in the... I don't know where you're going. This is hilarious. It's like what they did with the Llanowar Tribe. Exactly. Llanowar Tribe. 25 to fairies. Valerio, thanks so much. If you can't find Michiru, Star Butterfly. Yeah, let's look up Star Butterfly. We can find Star Butterfly. It's found. All right, what do we got here? We've got... Gotta resize everything. Okay, Star Butterfly, Interdimensional Princess for a white, Fairy Paladin. It's a 3/3 flash flying creature. White spells you cast from your hand with converted mana cost 3 or greater have Cascade. Holy crap! Spells you cast from your hand with converted mana cost 3 or greater have Cascade. Oh, but it can only be spells you cast from your hand. Otherwise, like, the card that you find later will not have Cascade. It's got Flash, so end of turn you can surprise your opponent and then start cascading into stuff. You could cascade into this, which would be a huge bummer. It's legendary. Maybe it's fair. I think it's fair. It's possible I would regret saying that, but I think it's fair. I mean it. I get it. Powers of darkness, forces of evil, eternal suffering, blah, blah, blah. Termus loves it. Read it, please. I did read it. I read it all. Quite fair. It might be fair. It could be broken. It's like one of those cards that I'm like, okay, it looks fair, but then you play with it and you realize, okay, this is actually incredibly broken. The advantage is you like pass the turn with a bunch of mana up, and then if they tap out, then you flash in the Star Butterfly, and then all of a sudden on your turn you go ham. Still broken in my opinion. It has the same ability for 6 mana spells, and it's way too broken. Well, it's like, you know, what's it called? You're not cascading on turn 3, so you can only cascade as early as turn 4, and that might be fair at that point. And you could cascade into Star Butterfly. I mean, I guess you can play a 3-drop and you won't hit Star Butterfly, you'll hit other stuff. I don't know how they'll break this. But you can get Crashing Footfalls in play these days on turn 3, so I don't see how this card is broken. I don't see it. Alright. We got Twin-like Effect. Pretty cool looking card. Banger picture. Twin-like Effect, blue, 3 generic for an aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has, if you would create 1 or more tokens, you may instead create that many creature tokens that are copies of enchanted creature. Oh! So as you make tokens, they can all turn into this one creature. That is very unique and very fair, I think. 5 mana. Oh, and you could also enchant somebody else's creature. So you enchant somebody else's creature. Enchanted creature has, if you would create 1 or more tokens. I'm assuming they're talking about me, even though I don't own the creature or control the creature. My tokens become the copy of that creature. Cool stuff. Daniel says, hey, Nikachu, made top 8 on RCQ the first time ever. Tribute to your content. Oh, you're welcome. I doubt you... thank you very much. I doubt you attribute it to any of this content, though. Or if it did, if this custom Magic the Gathering content helped you make top 8 in RCQ, I don't know. Let me know. Sounds insane, though. Okay. Moving on next. We've got Discovery of the Century, a blue 1 generic sorcery. Scry 3. Then up to 1 target creature card you control explores. If a legendary land card is revealed and put into your hand while exploring this way, draw 3 cards. That is so bizarre. I mean, I guess you stack your deck for a legendary land on top, but... Oh, and you are gonna stack your deck. You've got Scry 3. Then up to 1 target creature you control explores. It's so bizarre. And then if a land is revealed and put into your hand this way, draw 3 cards. So you draw all 3 cards that you scried. Is what it's like. I guess it's fair. 2 mana, draw 3 cards is a little broken. But my god, you need to have legendary lands in your deck. You need to have a creature to explore. So this is the hardest 3 cards I've ever seen someone work for. The War. This will change the world. That last card, the token copy aura, it didn't say creature token, right? Treasures? Ooh. If you would create 1 or more tokens, you may instead create that many creature tokens. Yeah, you're right. You make treasures, you make blood tokens, they turn into these creatures. That's insane. Whatever, it's still 5 mana. 5 mana to get that thing online, so I think it's fair. Okay, moving on. Sword of the Impaling Light. 1 white, 1 generic, artifact, weapon. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. You may choose not to untap Sword of Impaling Light on your untap step. You may not equip if it is tapped. Unattached Sword of Impaling Light. Tap target creature and opponent. Tap target creature and opponent controls. It cannot be untapped as long as Sword of Impaling Light remains tapped. Equip 2. This is the stupidest card I've seen in a long time. This is just awful. I don't like reading it. I don't like the idea of playing it. You may choose not to untap at your untap step. You may not equip if it's tapped. Like, what is with this stuff? And then you can unattach it. If you unattach it, yeah, it's too many words. Too much stuff. It's too busy, and I really don't, not feeling the flavor of it at all either. It's too fancy. Too fancy for me. Throw me your lightsaber. I guess there's a little bit of lightsaber. Was anyone blind? Yeah, Luke was blind during his initial training. Use the Force, Luke. It's like portable hole, but too complicated. Yeah, exactly. Bingo. And it doesn't give protection from 2 colors. Way better cards that tap down creatures permanently. Yeah, exactly. All right, really cool goblin. It better be really cool. You've set the expectations really high. For 1 red, we have a 1/1 goblin, goblin, goblin. This has got to be an AI-generated card. Goblins you control get +1/+1, and it's got epic. For the rest of the game, you can't cast spells at the beginning of each of your upkeeps. Copy this spell, except for its epic ability. Oh, so, okay, so you go turn 1. You can actually go turn 1 Ether Vial and still play a pretty damn good game. For the rest of the game, you can't cast spells at the beginning. I think this is broken. Because, like, no matter what, if I understand this correctly, you can't stop this thing. It will just perpetually make a really cool goblin every single turn. It'll just compound like crazy. On turn 4, you only have 4. Oh, you're really behind, Classy Bear. That art is from an actual MTG card? Well, it came from a really cool goblin. It's the most goblin thing ever. I think I think it's super danger. Danger big time. You can kill it, but don't you get epic forever? I can't remember. I think there's like a sorcery with epic and it just perpetually, or is it only when it's cast? I don't know how the epic ability works. You accept cards that aren't rendered. I prefer it is in some sort of card form. This is a video after all. The moment a board wipe happens, you're screwed. It'll just keep copying itself, lording all creatures perpetually. And imagine if you go turn 1 Ether Vial, like you can still put cards in play with Ether Vial for the rest of the game. Epic is like an emblem. Exactly, that's what I was thinking. So you have perpetual creatures for forever, and they're all 1/1s that give... And it gives itself +1/+1. It's not other goblins you control. So it's a 1-mana 2/2 to start things off. And then if you have 2 of them in play, they'll both be 3/3s. Anyway, this card is insanely broken. This is not going to be... Never in my life. I will quit the game if Wizards of the Coast made a goblin like this before they made a merfolk like this. Anyway, so that's completely broken. We have a super chat. Risen from the deep. Charkim, caller of spirits. Charkim, caller of the spirit. We look it up. It's black, blue, white, green for a 3/4 rat wizard. It's got a bunch of wolves in the picture with hexproof. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, and it gains whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. That's a great card! That is really fair, too. I like that as hexproof. No one could be touching your card, but they can touch the illusions. So it's more of an illusion maker, isn't it? Caller of Illusions. The name's a bit of a fail, but the rest of the card is very good. Yeah, it basically makes illusions. Because that's like an illusion effect. Yoshu is like, rat? Yeah, rat making illusions. They're very good, I guess. Yeah, now you see it, now you don't. The rats know all about it. All right, great card. I like it. I also like the picture. Pretty good card for there as well. Very, very fair card. All right, next, hold back the horde for a white 1 generic instant until end of turn. Target creature you control may block any number of attacking creatures. When that creature dies this turn, draw a card. Actually, great card. I actually like that as a combat trick. Probably broken and limited, but still a great card. So you're gonna it's like a fog plus you draw a card, and it's like, I guess what it's like is sack a creature, fog your opponent, draw a card. Very fair. Incredibly fair. Moving on. Mindful meditation. Be mindful, people. White 1 generic instant. Prevent all damage that would be caused to you this turn. Very bizarre wording here. Expertise. If you control a monk, gain twice X life, where X is the amount of damage prevented this way. Oh, okay. So it's like life gain in addition to life prevention. So let's say someone's trying to burn you down for 4 damage. It's like, okay, not only am I going to prevent that damage, it's not going to do anything. I'm going to gain 8 life. Now that's backbreaking. Very, very fair card. Another fairy card. Very fair card. An empty mind is empty of suffering. It's a very Buddhist thing to say. All the suffering happens in the mind. Nowhere else. Release your mind. Alright, we got Nalia, Prince of the Princess. Kenshiro Hokuto. Successor. Kenshiro Hokuto. The successor. Alright, we got a black, white, red, 3 generic for a 4/4 human warrior with first strike. You are already dead. When Kenshiro Hokuto, successor, deals combat damage to a player, put a Hokuto counter on that creature. When it deals combat damage to a creature, you put a counter on that creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile all creatures with a Hokuto counter on them. I love it. Cool card. Very, very card. So basically, you give the touch of death, and I don't know, the moment you go to sleep, you die. Nani? It's JoJo? I'm not familiar. My anime game is weak. Very, very, very weak. Huge flavor win. Hokuto Shinken is the supreme martial art. So what, in the anime, just give them a punch and then, like, I don't know, they die the next day? Your stomach suffers because you forget to eat. Yes, that's true too. Oh man, I just walked into a JoJo reference. You absolutely did. And it blew right over my head. It's the first of the North Star? 3,724 doctor appointments this morning. Surprised, but I'm glad I made it to the stream. Welcome, Dizzy Blizzy. Alright. Okay, moving on. We got Gabrielle, Super Chat. Gorgon, Queen of Demonic Beasts. The Gorgon, Queen of Demonic Beasts. Love the art. Great art. What's going on here? Alright, we got black, green, red, 3 generic for a 2/2 Gorgon with Devour 3. When Gorgon, Queen of Demonic Beasts, enter the battlefield, put a number of -1/-1 counters, divided as you choose, between any number of creatures equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on number of +1/+1 counter, so it should say counters, on Gorgon, Queen of Demonic Beasts. Creatures with a -1/-1 counter can't block. I'd prefer you didn't put the flavor text because this card is as cramped as it is. What remains after a cursed maturation, what remains after she abandons the last traces of the goddess within her, her true name is Medusa. Actually, that flavor text makes no sense. It sounds like a Google translation. Lost in translation. That being said, I think the card is fair. It's pretty cool. You put -1/-1 counters on stuff, and it's over. You would date her? Be careful! She looks like a giant snake. This is like a Medusa, what we're looking at here. Look, but don't touch. It danger! I like that card when I saw it. Yeah, we didn't have to see anything below the legendary creature Gorgon part. There's text in it? Yeah, exactly. Yell, you'll turn to stone. Alright, moving back to the main page. Eye of the Maelstrom. Ooh, I love lands. Tap, add 2 colors. Man, what you... That's crazy. At the beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. That's even more broken. That's not even a disability. There's nothing wrong with that. You just dumpster cards that you want to dumpster into the graveyard. Put in a graveyard deck. It's like Soul Ring meets Bazaar of Baghdad to some degree. No wind, no sound, just madness. Absolutely not. You cannot print this thing. This is insanely busted. Almost every deck would play it. Every deck would make it work, that's for sure. And when you're in the late game, who cares? Very donage. Yeah, dredge, probably. Kyle's like, it danger, but print it anyway. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Yes, that is exactly what I'm thinking here. You think the discarding a card at your upkeep is a bug, but it's absolutely a feature. Should exile the card. That would be different. That would probably make it a disadvantage. I don't know if it would make it fair, though. Probably not. 2 mana, and it's not even legendary. You can chain multiples of these together. Probably some Eldrazi deck would be wetting themselves looking at this. It's the soul land of all soul lands. You don't take any damage. No damage, no sacrifice. Yeah, it's not even legendary. Anyway, this is a crazy card. What do the comments say to this ridiculous thing? Okay, we gotta read the comments section to some of these. Just madness indeed. Oh yeah, madness would take advantage of this. Sometimes flavor text translates better. Could have been intended. Was there no wind, no sound, just madness? Whatever. Sounds like it was intentional. Okay, Venerated Arsonist. Oh yeah, if it wasn't clear, absolutely do not print that card. Do we have super chats? Nope. Okay. Venerated Arsonist for 1 red. We got a 1/2 Phyrexian Shaman. When it attacks a player, it deals 2 damage to the player it's attacking. That is broken as hell. So whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability, Venerated Arsonist deals 2 damage to the target opponent. Absolutely not. This is a beyond stupid card to print. It's just... So it can deal 3 damage, really. So it just attacks a player, deal 2 damage. If there's no block, also deals a damage. And if you want to kill it, also deals damage. It's beyond crazy. Burn players are salivating over this type of card. It's unblockable. Printable at 3 mana? Yeah, it might even be printable at 2 mana. But at 1 mana, I think it's just beyond stupid. All it's missing is haste. Yeah, exactly. Even they knew to hold back on haste. This was once a lively forest, but I would not advise bringing anything flammable into the ashen fields, lest she sees it. Okay, we're not printing this card. Yeah, 23. We'll look back on this card in 2033, and maybe it'll be fair. Who knows? You know, when they... If someone showed the world Ragavan 10 years ago, they were like, nah, they would never print this. This is ridiculous. Book of Legends, 4 mana artifact. You may cast multicolored legendary creature cards with no abilities you own from outside the game. The hell does that mean? Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Hold on. I don't understand this card whatsoever. Cast multicolored creatures cards with no ability you own from out. So okay, it can be, you can cast a multicolored card that's legendary and it has no, but it can have abilities. Add 1 mana of any color. I think this is a very bizarre card. I just don't like it. It sounds really niche. If it's exiled? No, it has to be outside the game, not exiled. So, like, basically, if you have it in your sideboard, it's a multicolored card and has no abilities. It's just so weird to, like, limit it with no abilities. Just say, like, anything. Just cast cards from exile. It's the OG Legends. Yeah, basically. Cast OG Legends. I guess it's I guess it's technically fair, but I'm just not a fan of this card. It's not exciting to me. Prismara, the Chromatic Realm, a land. Tap. I love lands because they're either busted or they're really neat. Tap, add a colorless mana. Tap, choose a color which hasn't been chosen. Add 1 mana of the chosen color. Oh, that is neat. Outside the game includes exile, at least arena. Really? Is that true? Maybe I haven't, you know what? I got into an argument once in my comments section about this. I always thought that outside the game and removed from the game were 2 different things. And I didn't know Arena's treating them the same way. That's bizarre. Not paper magic. As far as I know, but I'm not a judge here, so I don't know how different things are. Removed from the game and outside the game are two different zones. No, they're not. They're not supposed to be the same thing, but if Arena is treating them the same way, maybe there's something that I don't know about. Or is it just different in Alchemy? Pretty sure outside the game means... It does mean sideboard. Outside the game means sideboard. Can't judge. Arena doesn't. Karn grabs Brainstone over and over. Think so anyway? No, okay. If you either know or you don't know. And if you don't know, then I would assume that how it works is outside the game means your sideboard. Removed from the game means exile. Those are two different zones. Alright, moving on. Prismari, the Chromatic Realm. I think this is a cool card. So you can tap it for blue. Then after that, you can't tap it for blue anymore. You can tap it for red. So you get one shot at 5 colors. And when all else fails, you got colorless mana. Here, Alex in here. Exile is not outside the game. I'm guessing they were talking about Karn, which can get cards from outside the game or exile. Or yeah, it can do both. But those are two different zones. Happy Masks. I was about to say Happy Meals. An object is outside the game if it isn't in any of the game zones. Outside the game is not a zone. Okay, I'll just say outside the game is... Okay, thank you for correcting me on the zone part. Outside the game, however, is the sideboard. Okay, moving on. Destined Destruction. A red and X. Sorcery. Destined Destruction deals X damage to any target. Put Destined Destruction into its owner's library, X from the top. Oh, that is interesting. It also has red for cycling. So you can deal 5 damage and it goes back into your deck. That many cards from the top. I think that's actually pretty cool. Very, very, very cool. Very unique card. Keep regurgitating. And the more damage you want to deal, the less often you're going to see this card. Totally fair if the world needs this card. I don't know if they do. Very cool design. The harder it is to find. And if you don't really need it anymore, you can just cycle it anyway. Roach. Okay, white 1 generic for a 2/2 horse. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, if it wasn't cast from their hand, you may search your hand and library for Roach and put it onto the battlefield without paying its mana cost, then shuffle. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control. Okay, so any creature that isn't a token, they play it. If it wasn't cast from their hand. Okay, so if they cheat it in play, you may search your library for Roach and put it onto the battlefield without paying its mana cost and shuffle. So I guess there's a sequel to this. Hold on, no. For Roach. It is Roach. So you just get another one? Well, it's not exactly free because it's a legendary creature. You may search your hand and library for Roach. Or are they trying to, or is it like some sort of thing like, oh, you cheated a creature in play, I'm gonna search my library for this card and then put it onto play. Roach is itself, I think, means you can play from your library. Is that allowed? Okay, so Roach is from Witcher. So I'm guessing this is a flavor win, but a Magic the Gathering rules failure. I don't think if a certain circumstance happens, you're just allowed to arbitrarily look through your library and put the Roach in play. You'd really do me a solid if you could apply a slightly surer hand, be a little more decisive about where you want me to go. Sometimes I got no idea, buddy. Do I go left? Do I go right? Twerk where? I'm standing. Read Old Swords Plowshares. Exile removes a card from the game, therefore exile is outside the game. No, remove from the game is different from outside the game. That's the thing, David. Remove from the game does not equal outside the game. Those are two different things. They sound the same, but they are two separate things. That's the deal. Yeah, it's a huge flavor when The Witcher is a really good game ref series / Netflix show. Okay, I think this card is impossible based on Magic the Gathering rules, but it's a cool idea, and I'd actually be for it. If, like, a certain circumstance happens, you look through your library and put a card in play. The problem is, if people made a mistake Like, let's say, I don't know, you cast a card. Let's say you cast a card from exile. Or how is it? If it wasn't cast from their hand. I'm trying to think of some bizarre situation where someone casts a card normally and they search their library because they think it triggered and it failed, and then all of a sudden they've looked through their library and that'd be a huge game rules violation. Alright, moving on here. Sunheart Firebird. Red X. It's got Sunburst. Flying Haste. Sunheart Firebird can't block. You may cast Sunheart Firebird from your graveyard by paying 5 rather than paying its mana cost. Oh, that's interesting. So if you have 5 mana, you can easily just go, what's it called? You just put a 5/5 in play. It's got some sort of Modern Horizons 3 logo here. Anyway, okay. So I think this is a neat card. It would force you to... Maybe it's not too hard to turn on now these days with triomes and stuff like that. But I think it's a neat card. It's clunky. If you want to get back in play as a 5/5 with haste, you got to spend 5 mana. We got the Big Liar. 1 blue, 10/10, human coward. Big Liar has base power and toughness 1/1. And then I slayed the giant. What? When it comes back, it will be a 0/0. Is that how this will work? I'm assuming you can pay, when it means pay 5. Okay, I think the intention is that when you pay the 5 mana, it's going to count like the sunburst. So if you pay blue, black, green, red, white, maybe it's not framed. Maybe it's not framed like that. Maybe based on how it's read here, it will die. But that's how I think it's supposed to be. So it's a false 10/10. So basically it comes into play. So you can search your library for a big creature, but when it comes into play, it's actually just a 1/1. Get rid of its effect, and it's a 10/10. So like, yeah, you have to give it some sort of a bit. You have to like remove its abilities. You could attack with Dress Down, for example. Dress Down would do it. False 10/10 that you can bring to real 10/10 by nullifying its ability. Really unique card. It's one of those build around cards. It's like one of those cards people think, okay, how can I make this a real 10/10? Oh! That is interesting. Would this work? Could you fling this? Or does it only check its power and toughness as it's in play? I think it'll only check its power and toughness as it's in play, so fling will only deal 1 damage. But I could see a world where where it does. Yeah, I think the fling will only do 1 damage, because when it's in play, it's a 1/1. So you have to make it lose its abilities, then fling it, then it'll deal 10 damage. That's a lot of work for 10 damage. This is a really cool card, though. I like the build around card. Gabriella of Dawn's Chorus, a white, green, red 3/3 angel soldier, flying vigilance and haste. When Gabriella of Dawn's Chorus enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. Gabriella of Dawn's Chorus can't attack or block alone. This is a very fair, boring card. You can have it. Moving on, Dig Through the Grave. Black and X, instant, creature delve. Each creature card you exile from your graveyard while casting the spell pays for 1. Okay, so you can only exile creatures to delve this instant. Return target creature card with mana value X or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Very fair card. Very, very, very super fair card. Okay, Destined Aspirant. 1 white for a 1/1 creature. It's a human cleric. Vigilance. When Destined Aspirant dies, you may tap 3 untapped creatures you control. If you do, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. When it dies, you may tap 3... it actually sounds really hard to turn on, so again, really fair card. A lot of fair cards here. Is there some cool 1 mana cards? No, we only look at 1. 1 per person. Gotta spread the love around. Nothing too interesting in the last few cards. White Axe, sorcery. Search your library for an aura card with mana value X or less, reveal it. Put the card onto the battlefield attached to you or a creature you control, then shuffle. That is interesting. We don't have... Do we have any tutors for auras? I think we have 0. Yeah, why reveal it? Yeah, it's going to get revealed anyway, one way or another. So that's a little bit of redundant text. It's just put onto the battlefield. Stolen art? Oh, come on. Everything is stolen around here. Where's that against the rules here in custom Magic? I don't know the rules. They have a lot of rules around borrowed or stolen art or created art. No aura tutors, I don't think. It's the first of its kind. I think it's a cool card. Print it. Open the Armory is an aura equipment tutor. Oh, so we might have something similar. But this tutor's into play. Card is a phony. What are you guys on about? I mean, you should give credit to the original artist at least. Does it say so? I don't know. Chris Ron? Well, the artist name might be at the bottom. I can't tell who this is though. Who's the original artist? Gabrielle! One last card. Orion Bowman of the 3 stars. Oh, we gotta look at that delicious Gorgon. Orion Bowman of the 3 stars. Here we go. Okay, Orion Bowman of the 3 stars. Red, blue, green, 3 generic for a 6/6 demigod archer. Reach protection from green. It must be a flavor wing, because I have no idea why all of a sudden it would just be pro-green. Creatures your opponents control lose indestructible and hexproof and cannot gain indestructible or hexproof. Okay, screw them bogles. And if a creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, put into the graveyard instead. Love it! Definitely print this card. No cheat, nobody cheating. No indestructible, no hexproof. No cheesiness. So long as Orion is on the battlefield. Peerless strength, arrows that reach all beasts. A superhuman hunter bearing the love of a goddess. One worthy of the title of Grand. And we got Eva here with the super chat. Artina, the Glittering Dawn. Artina, the Glittering Dawn. Might need to search 4-color creatures are best defined by being not. Well, then that's what you're supposed to tell me. So look up. Okay. 4_color creatures are best. I'll look up that much. All right, we got... Where's the picture? We got nothing here. Okay, we got something. Can we look at this? All right, we got Artina, the Glittering Dawn. Blue, white, green, red generic. Sorry, blue, white, green, red for an angel. That is a 3/3. Flying Vigilance. Play with the top card of your library revealed. Other cards you own that aren't on the battlefield have Miracle. Oh my god! Blue, white, green, red. And then tap. Each player draws a card. Oh my god! That last ability is broken. You're just going to Miracle everything onto the battlefield. That's wild. Was that a 10-year-old post? Holy smokes! 10-year-old post, 10-year-old card. Coming back out of nowhere. It was probably a really good idea when they were printing Miracle cards at the time. This is probably where... I didn't know this forum was that old. That's crazy. Insane Commander. Oh, we have one more... we have a few more Super Chats. I'll get through your Super Chats. Alright, so... Hell, yeah, keep me hostage. Okay, hold on. We'll look at a few more Super Chats. Does Miracle at instant speed? Yes! It does. So, if you don't have this tap each player draws a card part, I think this card is fair. I also think it's very interesting. So, basically every single card you look at, you can Miracle for 4 mana. But tapping to draw the card is, I think, a little bit broken. So, I'm going to say, I think it's broken. Yeah, 4 mana. This is Insane Commander, in my opinion, so... not that I don't like the card. It's just that it's broken. Alright, we got the Risen from the Deep. Thanks so very much for the Super Chat. Champion of the Old God. Champion of the old god. Where's my real? Champion of the old god. Okay, colorless, 8 generic for a 4/5 golem. Oh god, that's a lot of text. That's a lot of text, man. Alright, we'll look at it anyway. Artifacts you control have Ward 3, Resilient 3. Permanents with Resilient have Indestructible. Any player may pay the Resilient cost for it to lose Indestructible until end of turn. When you cast an artifact spell, draw a card. That's insane. Now, it is 10 mana. Does it have affinity for anything? Discard an artifact card with mana value X. Counter target spell with mana value X and pay 2 colorless. Sack an artifact. Champion of the old god deals damage to the sacked artifact's mana value to any target. It's a lot of words, but I will have to admit, for 10 mana, it better do 10 mana stuff. So I actually think this is fair. Yeah, it's Tinker time. Good luck letting have someone let you play with Tinker. David says, you're right. I went back and looked up stuff. Exile is within the game, so outside is indeed its own zone. Actually, we also learned today that it's not a zone. It's a sideboard. So the combo I thought contradicted this actually includes both zones. Exactly. So the war that I went with someone in the comment section was right. And we got JWJ with the super chat. Thank you so much, JWJ. I really appreciate you showing up every single morning. And that's it for today. That's another Coffee and MTG in the books. And I really have to appreciate everyone who shows up Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there or be square. By the way, tomorrow, it's going to be super early because I have a flight to Philadelphia on Friday. So, I have a flight to Philadelphia on Thursday, so there's going to be a randomly early Coffee and MTG. Might be at 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time, just for one day. And then no show on Friday. Not that I expect. But thank you very much, everyone, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate the super chats, everyone who's a member on YouTube and a patron on Patreon. If you want to support the channel, either super chat during the show or links in the description for that. And thank you very much, everyone who's here all day. Thank you so much, Michael, the Zweers. We've got Raya. We have Raya. HSD, I don't want to, Nalia, Zick, we got Das Abzo, Classy Bear, Burning Paper Sun, Michael Praise, Classy Bear. Without you guys, I got no show. I got nothing. Brad J, thank you so much for the huge super chat. First of Doom, photoshopped this together back in the glory days of 95. Excuse the retro frame color and recently stumbled on the scan. What do you think? Oh, God. Okay, hold on. Hold on. We might not be done. First of Doom L? You should have done this earlier. I don't know how many people are still around to watch. First of Doom L. I can't find this thing. Or is it just First of Doom? Yeah, hold this man. I don't know if I can find it. First of Doom L, photoshopped this together back in the glory days of 95. Excuse the retro flame color and recently stumbled on scan. What do you think? I can't find it. I don't even know what this is. First... Oh, sorry. Fist. Fist of Doom. Okay, I found it. Sorry. It was Fist of Doom. For everyone that watched to the very, very, very end, you get to see one more special... Okay, Fist of Doom. 0 mana artifact. Fist of Doom cannot be countered. Fist of Doom cannot be the target of spells or abilities. Tap. Punch target player in the face. Very broken. If that player is knocked unconscious, they immediately lose the game. Pay 0. Target player must pound the table. That's probably the best ability of all these cards. This card will get you banned from Magic the Gathering. But anyway, thank you very much for sharing. It's a good Fight Club type of card. First thing about Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. All right, that's it. Thanks so much for being here. Take care. See you guys next time.